So on the workbench today we have a 1977 Gibson SG, and the owners brought it into us. It has some small issues. We won't be doing anything major to it, and we're just going to give it a good clean up and a bit of a service. We'll give it a full setup, and there's some other minor issues I'll just show you now. So turning the guitar over, you can see where the lacquer has worn off on this section of the neck and a couple of other places. So we're just going to refinish that small area. And just to confirm that it is a genuine Gibson SG, as you can see the headstock has been snapped at one point, so it's definitely a genuine Gibson. Remember, play authentic everyone. So we're just going to strip her down, give her a good clean, and as I said, refinish that section of the neck. So normally at this point we take a look at the serial number, try and see exactly when the instrument was made, but as you can just see here, the serial number has been completely obliterated. The owner was telling us that unfortunately the guitar was stolen several years ago, and even though we got it back within a couple of days, the guys who had stolen it had completely knocked off the serial number and had attempted to sell it in one of the local music shops for a minuscule amount of money. But unfortunately the serial number is gone, and you can still slightly feel bits of it, but I think the owner said himself he tried to photograph it and that to see if we could make any of the numbers out. But we'll have a look ourselves. Unfortunately it doesn't really look like that may be possible. So with our strings off, we're just taking a look at the fretboard here, and you can see the frets have a little bit of wear on them, nothing too major. We'll give them a look over and see if anything needs to be leveled, crowned or anything like that, but we've given them a good polish anyway. But just with the strings off, you can see all this filth and grime here. So that's why they always say wash your hands before you're playing the guitar, because all this rubbish builds up on it and that starts to affect your playing. So we're going to give it a good clean and get all this grime off. And just moving further down the guitar, you can just see a lot of it is just dust and use from over the years. Our harmonica style bridge there, you can see the chrome is just starting to pit a bit there, so we'll try and clean it as much as we can, and unfortunately we can't take that pitting out, but we'll otherwise give it a good clean. So we're just taking off the pickguard here, and this should be able to show us what the finish originally looked like before years of exposure to light and wear and tear and that kind of thing. So you can see now the difference there between the two different finishes, and I'm not sure if you can make it out or not, but if you take the bridge off, or sorry, the stop bar, you can see just underneath there as well, you can make out the difference. So that's just an interesting note of how the guitar originally would have looked, and you can see the areas around the edge of where the pickguard was, where there's lots of grime built up and that. So we'll be cleaning all this off. So we're just taking off the back plate here now as well, just so we can have a look at the electronics and see if everything is ship shape in there. So we're just taking a look inside our control cavity here. You see the output jack, the volume and tone controls, and the three-way switch, and everything looks fine. As you said, there isn't any issues with the instrument, the owner isn't having any problems or that, so we're just taking a quick look out of interest. Everything seems to be fine back here. So we're just taking another look at the back of the headstock here, and we can feel and just see here where the headstock was broken. The owner actually told us it was broken twice in this place, so it's a doubly authentic Gibson. We've got our original Gibson tuners here, and you can just make out from the lines here that this is a three-piece neck. You can see the three different sections of wood there. You can just kind of make out the glue lines. And again, as we said, we still have our Made in USA stamp, but it's unfortunate we lost our serial number there. And just to have a quick look at the inside of the pickups, and you can see these are definitely the originals. These are the late 70s Gibson tar backs, where they pretty much coated the entire pickup in epoxy. So it does the job, but unfortunately if anything happens to the pickup, there's absolutely no way to repair it or to rewind it or anything like that without completely obliterating the pickup in total. So just taking a quick look at those, and we can just see into the pickup cavities as well. You can see there's a shim down on the corner there. So again, we just have these off so we can get at this area here, clean all this grime away. So we've just taken off the harmonica style bridge and its studs, and you can just see under here all the dirt we have and grime and that, so we'll be cleaning that off. And you can just see where all the posts here were. So again, we've removed all this just to make cleaning easier. So we've just taken off 2 of our speed knobs here, just so we can get access to these nuts, just to tighten them up slightly. And that's all fine, so we can put those straight back. So we're just going to give the fretboard here a quick oiling. And just to show you here, the difference between where it's been oiled and cleaned and the next fret, and there's all the dirt that we're taking off as well. So we'll just continue to do that for the rest of the fretboard, and we'll probably come back and do it again one more time just before we string her up again. So we're just taking off our truss rod cover here. Again, this is just to make it easier to clean, but it's always good to take a look anyway. Truss rod cover's in good condition. Yeah, looks okay here. So again, this is just easier access to get all this grime away here. So everything looks okay there. And we may have to adjust the truss rod when we're doing a setup, we'll see. But we'll move on now and just continue to clean the headstock. So at this point we've given the instrument a good clean. We've cleaned as much of the parts as we can. We've cleaned and oiled the fingerboard, and then off camera what we've done is we've re-lacquered the back of the neck. So there's a huge chunk missing just around here, and we've replaced all that. And where the neck was broken, we filled a bit of that as well, so it's not as prominent as it was. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to restring the instrument, and we're just going to give it a bit of a setup then, adjust all our heights and action and stuff like that. So we'll bring it back after that's done. So that's the SG all strung up now. We've got her nice and clean. We just cleaned the pots as well to take some of the scratchiness out of them. We've cleaned the body, we cleaned up the fingerboard, cleaned up all our hardware and stuff. We re-lacquered the back of the neck as we said, and just gave the rest of the instrument a good clean. So here she is now, ready to go back to her owner.